Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG81 and today I would love to do a comparison video with this Marvel Legends SpiderGwen versus the Mafex SpiderGwen. Okay, before I begin with the comparisons right over here, I would like to compare this Marvel Legends SpiderGwen with this other SpiderGwen from Marvel Legends as well. Okay, so wow, you might be thinking why there are two SpiderGwen. Okay, of course, this is the one that I have recently reviewed, which is with the Spider Ham, and this one is a 2-pack with Miles Morales. Yep, so both of them, this is the one that I gotten at first before they announced this one. So after I gotten both, I noticed, wow, they are quite a big difference. It's not just a repaint or it's not just a reissue, it's entirely different figures as you can see, which is why I would love to do a comparisons right now. Okay, so as we can see, in terms of the overall aesthetic look, is already very different. Yeah, you can see the height is a big difference already. The new one is taller than the older one. Yep, and I kind of like the head sculpt of the older ones as compared to this new one. You can really take a look. It's really nice glowing of the pink around the eyes, and also I like the inner versions of it as compared to this one. Is like it's too pinkish and it sticks a little bit too close to the head. As for this, it just looks very nice with the flow of the hoods. Yep. But other than the heads, I do prefer this body because of the matte paint, like I mentioned in my review, and this whole thing is just very shiny. It's not that it's not good, like just that I prefer the matte paint right now. And the shoes, you can also see is slightly different, as in this one is a little bit of the green and this one is more of the blue. Yep, other than that, yep, even the spider design over here is rather different. This one is more to the pink side and this one is more to the darkish red. Yeah, so it's really different figures all together. Yeah, but it's a very nice comparison as I would like to make. Even at the back you can see it's slightly different there. So for those of you who likes your SpiderGwen to be slightly shorter, I think this is a good one. But the bad things about it is that this SpiderGwen only comes with a left closed fist hand and a right web shooting hands, which is kind of weird. I always don't like when they do that. Yeah, but this SpiderGwen does have an interchangeable hands of a pair of web shooting hand and a pair of closed fist hands that you can already see. So it's more nicer in a way that yeah, it's more balanced. Yes, back to the Mafex. The very first thing that you will look over the aesthetic look is that this Mafex is a lot smaller as compared to the Marvel Legends. Wow, it's like a mother and daughter kind of feels. Yep, and as for the overall aesthetic look, I kind of think that yep, is how do I put it? This one, it actually reminds me more of the previous Marvel Legends SpiderGwen just now. Okay, so I have to brought her in again. As you can see, the shoe color is the same and the scale isn't as big different as compared to this one here. Yeah, so kind of feel like this one is a little bit more the same as compared to this Mafex, but we'll get her out of the way and let's proceed with the comparison. Again, the overall aesthetic looks, well, let's see, they are using this almost the same kind of pink as you can see. Yep, and the head sculpt, which looks yep, pretty good. This one is slightly too clean. I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's just that the line are too clean. This one is like, you can see there are some fuzzy paint on it around the red color, the eyes. Yeah, so which is, I think is a good attempt to make it. And the inner portions of the hood is kind of plain. It's, you know, just a pink color, and this one does have the spider webbing, which looks pretty good. Yeah, but after that on the body, although I like the matte black paint of this one, but you can see this one has texture on it. Wow, can really see all the good texture on it. This is very nice, and even though they are all just black and white, but this one Mafex actually put a lot more efforts into making this texturized suit for her. Yeah, so in terms of the overall aesthetic looks for these two comparisons, I would think that the Mafex actually looks better. I mean, the suit actually looks nicer. So for the overall aesthetic look, I would think that the Mafex actually looks better as compared to the Marvel Legends. Okay, right up next, I would like to move on to the scale of both of the SpiderGwen. As you can see, I have already put up the Marvel Legends here, and unfortunately, I don't have the Miles Morales Marvel Legends, so I'm putting the Sentinel toys as a replacement. I believe the one from the Marvel Legends should be more or less the same scale as this guy here. That's why I put him here, and these are all from Mafex. Okay, so as you can see, I do think that the Marvel Legends one do scale better. You can see the heights of it is like, you know, more balanced. This one, it just feels kind of odd to me that the Miles Morales is the same height as the Gwen Stacy. Okay, so let's move on to the articulations of both of the figure, and we'll start with the top. So let's see, from the top, I believe the head actually is pretty much the same, even though this one have a separate neck as compared to the Marvel Legends. It's just a single piece neck that is connected to the body. So this one, the Mafex does have a better articulations when it comes to the head. And as for the arm, she does have a butterfly joints for the Mafex, and the Marvel Legends doesn't have any. She have a bicep swivel and she doesn't have any. As for the mid torso here, there's 2-point articulations, but the Marvel Legends just have one. So but the Marvel Legends do have a swivels on the thigh, with 2 swivels actually, one's over here and one another over here. But the one from Mafex doesn't have any swivels at all, which is a bummer. And the rest of it are pretty much the same. She have a single joint elbow, and the same goes for Marvel Legends. And she also have a double joint knee, and the same goes for the Marvel Legends as well. So in this case, I do believe that the Marvel Legends does lose out in a bit, because let's see what else is being lose out. Separate neck, bicep swivels, 2-point of articulations. This is a win for the Mafex. As for what is better in the Marvel Legends is just the tight swivels. They have 2 tight swivels on the leg, but the Mafex doesn't have any. So in terms of the upper body, the Mafex wins, but in terms of the lower body, the Marvel Legends wins. So maybe we'll call it a tie. And now let's move on to the accessory for both of the figures, and it is very obvious who the winner is, because the Mafex do have a lot of accessory as compared to this Marvel Legends, because this Marvel Legends Gwen only comes with an interchangeable set of swap shooting hand, and that's about it. And when we talk about the accessory, it reminds me of the Spider Ham, which is these two over here. And as we all know, these two are actually parts action figures, parts statue, because they only have very limited articulation. As for the Marvel Legends, you can only rotate the heads, but as for the Mafex, they do have interchangeable hands, okay, and some of it are pretty interesting, especially the ones that have the hammer on. So in that case, again, this Mafex Spider-Ham wins because he does have more things to play with. So as an overall accessory, I do think that, of course, the Mafex will trump. And at the same time, I love to compare the head sculpt for both of the SpiderGwen. As you can see, wow, I do think that both of the head sculpt looks equally good. Of course, the Mafex one will looks even better as compared to the Marvel Legends, but the Marvel Legends alone, I do think that is pretty good as well. I would love to add in a custom head sculpt of Gwen Stacy, which is from Nota Studio. Okay, so it looks wow. Of course, the best is the Nota Studio, as we can see. She have a more vibrant looks to it. Wow, this is a lot nicer. And next, let's move on to the playability or durability for both of the figure. And to test this out, I would love to actually throw these two figures down from a 100th floor building, and we'll see which one will not break.
One.
And I very much believe that both of them will break. But jokes aside, we all know that the Marvel Legends has a better durability when it comes to the joints and the overall quality of the figure as compared to the Mafex. Yep, Mafex do have a very bad history of joint breakage, and you know, the joints just get loose, yeah, because of how tiny it is. As you can see, let me prove it to you. You can see these joints for the hand is so tiny as compared to the Marvel Legends, which you see, wow, this is thick, man. And you can really see the difference in that. Yep, so it is very obvious that the Marvel Legends will have a better durability when it comes to the playing. So if you are more of a very strong person, I will recommend you to get the Marvel Legends and never even touch the Mafex, because you will end up with breaking the hands or the legs and stuff like that. And the next one, let's go to the packagings or the box. And very unfortunate, I have already thrown away the box for the Marvel Legends, and I only left with the Mafex box, which we all knows that is actually looks much better. I'll put a pictures for the Marvel Legends box here so you can actually compare. Yeah, but personally I like the Mafex design because I think that they actually put more efforts into making the box with the backdrops. You can see there's another like a building backdrop that you can actually cut it out and put it as a display with your SpiderGwen if you want to, and even at the back it's actually a lot more nicer. Yep, I would say that in the box packaging as compared to the Marvel Legends very standard box design, the Mafex will actually wins. And the last comparison will be the price, which is again another very obvious winner. The Mafex actually costs 3 to 4 times of a Marvel Legends. Yep, that's how expensive it is. So for those of you with a tight budget and you still want to add a very decent SpiderGwen action figures into your collections, I will strongly recommend you to get the Marvel Legends instead. In this case, the cheaper Marvel Legends would win, but it doesn't always mean that the cheaper is the better. But in this case, for the Marvel Legends SpiderGwen, although it is cheap, but you can see the quality isn't that bad. Okay, so it is still a very good figure for the amount of price that you paid. And yet this one, Mafex, is more expensive, but it's also a lot more fragile. Yes. Okay, so the final verdict for the comparison of these two figures is, for the Marvel Legends, it actually wins on the scale, the articulations, the durability, as well as the price. And as for the Mafex, it actually wins on the overall aesthetic looks, the articulations, the accessories, as well as the packagings of the figure. Wow, okay, so this is just my comparison again. Of course, you can always disagree with me, but I do think that both of the figures are equally good. I mean, just a very clear options here. If you are on a tight budget, you can always go for this Marvel Legends Gwen Stacy, which I think it looks pretty good. But if you can afford slightly better and you are a little bit more gentle person, I would recommend you to get the Mafex. So I do hope you find this comparison useful and entertaining to you. Do give me a thumbs up if you do, and of course I hope you subscribe to my channel, as I have new video up almost every alternate day, and I'll catch you again in my next video. As always, stay safe, take care, and thank you for watching.